city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Seafood on fire. Lancelot. Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
I'm muted now, not anymore. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Like I said earlier, Danny Zzzz, I love the hat. I love the background. What can I say? Everybody, before we start, tell us where you're joining us from, please.
I am joining you all from Stuart, Florida, Southeast Coast, where it is 75 degrees right now.
Don't brag.
Okay, I won't brag. I won't brag. Ha ha.
Alethea?
I am right now joining from Hampton, Virginia, which is in southeastern Virginia. And sometimes when you see me up here, you will catch me 4 hours north in Washington, D.C. But I'm in Hampton today.
Nice. Heather?
I'm joining you from a little town called Rainham, Massachusetts, south of Boston.
Nice. And Danny Zzzz.
It is cold here. Cold. I am in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. I think it's about minus 15 degrees.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch.
I think Angeline wants to join you.
Oh, yeah, right. Down, down.
Yeah, you don't shovel sunshine where you guys are at. So, yeah.
And I'm in New York. I don't know what the weather's like outside, but I know what it's like in this virtual room. It is hot. Because today we're going to talk about the importance of understanding who you are, where you are, and you never belong in a small room. Danny Zzzz, would you mind taking us into understanding what that means?
Oh my God, it's horribleness. It's stress and it's tears. It's anxiety. I don't know. I say that with a smile on my face, but there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, the importance of being on big stages and big rooms. I mean, we're all trying to advance our career in some fashion. We're trying to find a way I always say, reinvent the wheel and find a way to make ourselves what we need to be and to share our stories. And I'm blessed to have walked on thousands of stages, and I'm afraid every single time I step out in it. I think that if that ever changes, it'll be the last stage I ever walk on. But I think that the anxiety associated with it is what makes you sharp, because it means that you have something so important to say or show to somebody that it affects you in that fashion. So if you're walking out with extreme confidence, perhaps your message isn't what it needs to be. So my view there is, when you're put in a position where you're who is presenting, when you're the person who's entertaining or doing the talk or all of that, people have bought the tickets. You're commanding the stage and you're owning the environment, and it should be nerve-wracking. I think that if you enter it in that fashion, you're gonna be fantastic.
I love that. You need to understand that what we're delivering is going to be impactful. If it isn't, then get off the stage, I say. Alethea, you were just on our stage. How was that for you?
Being on that stage live and in person, I loved it. Pre-pandemic, I was on more live stages. And so that has been an ultimate goal of mine, trying to get back on more stages. And it's not now trying, it's actually I'm doing it. And the virtual stages are great. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of virtual events, but being there live, there's a different type of excitement with it. There's a different type of emotion connected to it where I can lock eyes with someone in the audience. And what I enjoyed about your platform is it was such an intimate setting. It was a great turnout, several people, but the setting itself was very intimate. And the fact that the way that it's organized, you get to know people, you get to network with people and meet different people. I met Heather, and that was wonderful. And Angeline and you, Sifu, I actually met in person. Danny, I was blessed to have met in person a little over a year ago. But in terms of being in the room, what I appreciated about speaking was that I could connect a story that happened personally to me that had nothing to do with entrepreneurship, yet it was able to relate with other entrepreneurs. And on both days, even up until now, I've received people telling me how what I said not only stuck to them, but it gave them a different perspective on things. And so that was what my experience was. It was absolutely incredible. And it's not going to be the last stage of yours that I'm on. I loved your event. Very well planned, organized, and intentionally thought out and very strategic.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Where do I send the check? That's all.
You may send it too. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you know, when we put an event together, you're right. It is very intentional. The lineup is intentional. The way we do things, the meeting after the meeting or the meeting before the meeting. You know, we did start in prayer, which I think was. I don't see that in a lot of places. People just get on stage, but they're not coming in. And we were lucky enough to have a pastor who was also speaking with us. But to think about that, we're not there alone. Even on the stage by yourself, you're not alone, right? You've done the work, you've done the practice 1,000 times, and Danny Zzzz about 1 billion times, because his stage presence is so different than many of us, because he is not only speaking, but he's performing. And it's a whole different world. Danny, what is the world like? Or, I have even a better question. It came to me and I was like, I need to ask him this question, right? And anybody who doesn't know Danny Zzzz, you need to come to Tampa. You need to come to Tampa and really get to know who this man is. What was the first stage that you stepped on, and what was that like?
Well, I'm old now, so that's you're asking a pretty tall question. I've been on stages for most of my life. I have a two-part answer for you. The first part is really I've been on stages since I was a child. When I want to say, in grade 3, you know, so about 50 years ago, 48 years ago, I was chosen to be with a child entertainer, and we went on tour singing children's songs across Canada. So I was a musician. I grew up on that sort of stage. So I'm sure I peed my pants probably at that age. Let's just say at 8, walking out on stage for the first time was probably haunting.
Wow.
But so I've never ever been afraid of being on stage, meaning I did it for so many years that it's very natural. The anxiety has never changed, which I said. But one of the things that I almost answered to begin with your question was, this is so essentially important. And at least to me, it might be the most important thing I say for this entire call. Danny Zzzz is a character that I play. So if you have a character, if how you present is a character that you have developed, it gives you freedoms that a person doesn't have to have. So Danny Z is very brave and funny and confident and all of those things that when I step out on stage, I can allow myself to shelf what harbors me or slows me down. Daniel Paulin is a vulnerable father and man. Sometimes my stomach is upset or my knee hurts or I have financial issues or my death in the family. Daniel Paulin has to deal with real life things. Danny Zzzz doesn't have any of that. And I learned very early on that people don't care if you have problems. They bought their tickets. Working in Niagara Falls and doing shows every single day, those people spent their entire year saving their money to fly to an expensive town to have a vacation, and they want the bed made, they want the food hot, and the entertainment are good. And if you think that having relationship issues or a kid that was grounded or financial problems, it doesn't matter what label you put on it, they didn't pay for that. They pay for somebody to step out on stage, present, be honest, funny, and love every moment that they're doing that. So that is so essential for anybody who thinks that they want to be a speaker, an author, if they want to step on stage for entertainment. It doesn't matter what. It's not about you. It's about the person who paid the ticket. All of us as consumers have bought a movie ticket to a movie that we thought sucked or went to a meal and it was no good or whatever the deal is. And you know what we do? We complain because we work very hard to be financially in a situation that allows us those opportunities. So I became a character, and that character will allow me to shelf all of those things that prevent me from presenting in a way that the audience needs. So truly, how they perceive you and how you present for them is what you're being paid for. And when you can develop yourself, either your own name or like me, I made up a name. If you can create a character that allows you to put that stuff away, you'll present so much better than all of the people who are competing for the same stages, because that person is there to deliver a message. They're not there to share a view or an opinion. Everybody can get that. You can all of you guys can call me after this talk, and you can complain about Christmas or the mall or all of that stuff. We have that freedom to share. But when you step out on stage, it's not about that. That the stage is holding you up. It's putting you in a situation where the audience is like, I'm going to learn from this person who has success. And if you're not stepping out as that character, you need to stay backstage for a little while longer. You need to figure that out.
Yeah, man, 2-part. I think there was a 10-part because I loved every second of it. And when you talk about a character, right? It's you have to play that role. And you're right. You go to a movie and the movie sucks. You can't get your money back because you already spent the money for the ticket. Same thing if you go to an event. And we've all been to horrible events. I know I have. I've been to events and said, man, I could have been doing something so much better today. But then I've been to events and I've been blown away. And I was like, wow, I'm so happy I was here. So in that regard, Heather and Angeline, we'd love to hear your experience at the New York City Mastermind Experience this past 2 weekends ago.
It was amazing. And there's nothing like meeting people in person. So even though I didn't speak and Heather didn't speak, I was so great. I felt so grateful to be in the room because I was never meant to be in a small room in the first place. And so for me, it was a great experience, and it was well worth the investment, because the greatest investment that you can make is in yourself. So there was networking. There were breakout rooms, okay, where we all, were in a different group, and that was amazing too. So anyways, yeah, so it was a great experience for me. I enjoyed meeting everyone in person, going out, we we went out and we had dinner, fellowship, and beginning the event in prayer. I haven't never been to an event like that where you begin in prayer. And I have attended events in the past. I've actually spoken in London and I was in Dubai in October, and those were great events. And I spoke at both of those events. But this event was very special. This was very intimate. It was very well organized. The topics that were discussed resonated with me, especially Althea's story, and Sifu, your story, because we all have a story to share. And our stories must be told to the world. Because if we don't share our stories, we're not going to be impacting people. And I know for me, sharing my story of breaking free from domestic violence was huge for me back in 2018. This is online, virtual. So in person, someone out there is praying. They are praying for a breakthrough. They are looking for hope. So when you share your story and there are people who are being impacted, then that's where the growth happens. And because nothing grows from your comfort zone. You have to be in the room. You have to be in that room with people who are on a higher level than you. So that is so important, because that's the only way that you're going to elevate yourself. And there are times when you have to let go. Hi, Judith. There are some people that you have to let go in your life. Like, you just have to break free from them, because those are the ones that are holding you down. So you just have to do it. You just have to go out there and do it. So I love the event. The New York City Mastermind was a great experience. And thank you, Sifu, for organizing it and for having wonderful speakers. And, some collaborations happened already. So I'm very grateful. I was very grateful to be there. So in the cold weather, because I moved from New York last year. So considering, you were worth the trip. And I got to meet Heather and everyone there. So it was great. It was really, really great.
Hi.
Sifu, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
How about now?
Yes.
I'm having all kinds of fun issues today. I'm not in my usual studio. I have this different mic, and what can I say, right?
We make do.
I didn't put my brace on today because I'm like, it's Christmas time. I can move my arm up and down, but that's it. I can't move my shoulder, so I got to keep my elbow attached to my ribs. But anyways, so when we put this together, the intention is for people to have an experience like no other, for people to walk away with something. Because, like I said, I've been to so many events. Jose has been to so many events. Lancelot's starting to go to a lot of events. And we all said we don't want it to be the same. No cookie cutter stuff for us. And this is why, think about the entertainment that was in the room, right? We had two incredible entertainers. And I got to tell you, John Rickenbacker was hysterical. And it's very interesting that I borrowed something from what he spoke about and used it in my own speech, because for me it was true. For him, he later on told me, "Are you ready for this?" It wasn't true, but it was an act. But he said his dad has seen him perform, and his dad's like, "Get out of here." He's like, "You're so funny." But it hit home for me, right? And as you all know, you were there. I'm not going to rehash anything. But when we get on a stage, it's how do we, even if we're not entertainers like Danny Zzzz is, how do we still entertain the audience so they don't get on their phone, so they don't put their heads down and maybe even pick up a magazine and start reading, right? So I did not know that Heather's a magician because
I
she
know.
I know.
I was saying that too.
Boom.
back and forth. So Heather, this is why I don't like virtual backgrounds. Are you still there, or did you like go get coffee or something?
That's it.
Hey, that's really odd that just happened. So the light in my room went out.
Oh,
So you're going to see me in a little odd way. The house lights are still on, just this room. So sorry about that. I can say that my experience was fantastic. This was my first time, and I'm sorry I'm like disappearing. This was my first time meeting everybody. I started coming to different events because I met Angeline through an event that we're attending together, and she introduced me to this crew, which was fantastic. And I will say, so I'm not too far from New York, so I was like, I'm all in. And I got to see family while I was out there, which was really fantastic. And that's my whole thought is connection. So social connection, love, being around people is one of the 6 pillars of a healthy brain. And so having understood that innately, I think all my life, I'm becoming more and more conscious of it and being surrounded by people that are like-minded. That doesn't mean everything's all in common. That doesn't mean we're the same people, but we have similar values and similar goals in life. So that's a huge goal for me, is to be surrounded by those people that I connect with and that I grow from. So being in the room, even though I wasn't speaking, even though I'm just in the beginning of my speaking career, I can say that you need to be in the room with people that will grow you, that will connect with you, that will help you out, that you can help out. And that's such an important part of community and being with people. Virtual absolutely has changed my life as well. I have met people virtually that, eventually I get to meet in person. That's been fantastic. It grows you as a person, but there is something so incredibly special about being in person. And that room was so full of people who want to share, who want to connect, whether it be on the stage or off the stage, whether it be taking that speech and bringing another conversation behind it. It's just everything. So I love the fact that we all got to meet, we all got to connect, we all got to hear each other's stories, whether it be off the stage or on the stage. Is being in that room is so important. And I 100% agree that, you have an anxiety before you get on stage and that fuels you. But I actually even want to reframe it and say it's an excitement. Or if you want to say anxiety, does that open you up? Or does that, does it feel expansive or does it feel restrictive? And if it feels expansive, you're in the right place. And that's what I felt. Just being there, never mind, any kind of stage. Just meeting different people, hearing their stories, getting to learn about them. And I've made so many connections just from being there. And I have all these virtual chats coming up, and it's just an exciting avenue and opportunity to grow. And yes, of course, I want to grow my business. Of course, I want to get on the stages, but growing myself personally is going to grow my business. It's going to grow my connections. So I found it to be really empowering, really exciting. I walked out from there talking to my husband the whole ride home, blah, 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 about everything. And that's what fills me up, is those connections, being around people who have a heart to serve, a soul to be able to talk and connect and engage. So I think that is incredibly important. And that is what I got. And the one thing I always think about is, as a consumer going to see somebody on stage, like you said, I want a great time. I want to be entertained. I want to be filled up. I want to walk out of there blown away. And that translates into going up on the stage, knowing that people are pulling for you. They want to see you succeed. They want you to do well, but they also want you to have that energy that you come in with and the story or, a lesson. So I got all of that. And it was, I got all of that. I got the connection, and it really did fill my cup.
Yeah, I love that.
Sifu, if I could just jump in really
Yeah,
quickly.
please do.
Based on what Heather said, something came to me also is that I think it's important, and I've learned this, of course, through you, Danny Zzzz, others, is that being on a stage can feel really exciting. I too get nervous and I get dry mouth prior to me starting, and then all of a sudden, and it's been like that for years. And several of you know I have a theater background, and so certain speaking techniques I incorporate. But when you're on these stages as a professional speaker, I think it's so important to know it may look cool and wow, people are seeing you, but the mindset that must be taken on, and I'm going to say this as a blanket statement, is yes, although we're in the spotlight, at the end of the day, we want to reflect to the others, meaning that it's not about us. It's truly about what are we pouring into other people. And when we get that mindset that we're not making it all about us, because Danny, for example, when I've seen him perform, it's never about, ooh, look at him. It's always something tangible that I can take away from and I can learn from. And I think that's so important, is that when our mindsets are in the right place, that it's not an ego driven. Of course, it feels good, but it's not an ego driven thing. It's really about service. And I think that's what makes it absolutely more thrilling, is that you can walk away from a stage being fulfilled because the mission that you've been called and assigned to do has been fulfilled through your voice. And that's why we are not created or intended to play small, and that we are not intended to keep ourselves closed into a box. And the last thing I'll say, I'll publicly shout out Danny Zzzz, because I met him over a year ago at a speaking event. And afterwards, he came up to me really excited, and he did assume that I was already a well-established professional speaker. And it didn't make my head blown up or anything, but I needed it because I had been rusty for a few years and I hadn't really had those opportunities. And to have, I hadn't really sought out those opportunities. And when it took somebody like him of his caliber to really pour into me in other talks we've had privately, you never know who you will encounter who can be that extra boost you need. And I'm not saying no one else has, but it's at times people that you least expect who are watching, and you don't know what they see in you. And so that's why it's important to be in these rooms also, because no matter how well established you are, there can be somebody in there. It just takes one person that may be that spark to really keep you going and moving forward, so that you can then touch thousands upon thousands of other lives. It just takes one. So Danny knows how I feel about him as a friend, as a brother, because this man, despite how well known he is still somebody who is pouring into others that people don't even see.
Before Danny Z answers, I just want to say I'm having a fun time watching the chat, and people are like, they want to get in the room. I'm going to share with you a couple of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, hello from Kenya live, right? And here's one to Angeline. Like, why are you not inviting me to these events? I want to say, from Africa and from Kenya. And then, of course, you responded. We'll have to explore that. Emilio, good morning, family. Yes, interested. He's Indian or she's Indian. I don't know who AT is. Sorry about that.
Sorry,
then,
it's because I'm live on my page. That's why.
Oh, okay, no, that's good. So
Yeah.
work inquiry, right? 80 says hello. You missed out on Danny Zzzz and a great conversation. And it goes on and on. But here's the thing, right? Let's consider a couple of things. Yes, a lot of you want to get into the room. Wanting and doing are two different things.
Sifu, let me have this. Let me have it.
Go.
You know what? There was so many things that that you guys have said that I'm just sitting back here like a caged animal, which is hard for me to just be quiet. There isn't enough coffee in the room to satisfy what I'm going through right now. Earlier I said I'm probably going to tell you the most important thing. I don't know. This might be equally important. The stage isn't the stage that you're stepping on. We're on stage right now, obviously, and showing up. I don't know. I'm assuming we're all on the same time zone. And if not, I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be a part of this. You have to recognize that your character and how you show up for the people who are putting these events on are just as important for them as the moment you walk on stage. If Emilio was here, Jose, or obviously Sifu, Nikki, some of the people who've brought me on stage, I always say to them, and this isn't a line, I always say to them when we get to the event, how can I serve you? Because you're just as important backstage as you are on stage, and how you work with that person behind the scenes lets them decide if they're going to have you at the next event. So the handshakes and the hugs, you can't be too big to not help set up chairs or pick up garbage. You can't be the person that doesn't say, let me tape that on the wall, or I'll try to fix this. I have been blessed to be on many stages, but I'm the first person that'll walk around with a garbage bag at the end of the event if somebody needs help, because truly, the stage is the moment you're in front of somebody who could be a future presenter or a colleague or a business person. That stage starts when I step off of the airplane and the client picks me up. And you have to understand that we get all prettied up to walk out on stage and to present for the 50, the 1,000 people. The amount of people in the audience doesn't make the difference. We get prepared for that moment, but we're viewed all the time. The people that I'm talking to most of the time are backstage, or we're at night owls, or we were like, I'm in jeans and a t-shirt. I mean, I'm not in my monkey suit or dressed up fancy for an event. I'm just me. So you really got to consider how you're presenting for the entire time. And for the client, Sifu, I'm so excited to be with you in Tampa. And in any event that I get the opportunity to be on stage with any of you guys. And it's so essential that we're bringing our best every single moment that we're in that public place. That's true. And when you said that I met you backstage and you and I talked, I remember, Alethea, you and I talking on the event, we were talking on that walkway and we were just having some conversations. There was no audience. It was just you and I was just sharing how you affected me and how I believed you were shining. And because of that, I'm not doing it for cameras or doing it for an audience. I'm doing it because that's how I feel. And it's important that I share that with you. And I really think that everybody needs to reflect what being on stage means, because it certainly doesn't mean climbing 3 stairs and stepping on a 10 by 20. It has nothing to do with that. We're on stage now. When we're watching these lives and we replay them, we're saying #replay, or we're commenting, because there's all kinds of people in their underwear watching on their laptop right now that don't realize, although we can't see them, the minute they put their fingers to the keyboards and their comment pops up here, it's a representation of how they're representing their business, themselves, and certainly all of us who are up here on stage. So I really want people to reflect on, if you want to be successful in this business or in any business, are you putting in your 8 hours or are you putting in your 80 hours? Like, the truth is, last night at 10 o'clock, I was doing my Christmas video because I'm a loser and had forgotten it. And I'm busy and I'm like, I forgot to send this in. And yeah. And so the clock doesn't work on entrepreneurship. Like if you want to be successful in anything that you do, anybody watching this that says, I want to be a professional author or speaker, or I want to get on stages, it's easy. It only requires 28 hours, 8 days a week. And it's going to be so hard for you to find success, and you're going to feel like you're never going to make it. And you know who wins? The people who get up, get on these shows, get on stages, and are courteous. And for anybody who's joining me in Tampa, I challenge you to be kinder to the people who are putting this on. I can say to you that I will be humble to be there. I will be helpful. I will be appreciative of every moment I get to sweat on stage and do what I do. And if the client who's bringing you realizes you're so easy to work with, you're one of the first calls the next time they need somebody. So don't play fair. There's 4 of us right here that are trying to get on stages, 4 of us, 5 of us. And I can say to you that I don't want to play fair. I want every single person to be excited to have me there. And that's how you need to present. And if you do that, you're going to be a challenge. And that sucks because I want to get on lots of stages. So, right. So, but yeah, find that best version of who you need to be and play that character the moment the cameras are on.
I love that. One of the things that when Danny Zzzz and I talked about, he goes, Sifu, I'm going to be there before the event starts, and I'm going to be the last person to leave. And I'm like, wait a minute, Danny, that's what I do. So we're kindred spirits in that way. And when we put on an event, it's exactly what Danny talked about. It's to wow anyone who's coming, right? To do the little things. I've been preparing for the event that we just had months before, right? And some people just show up to the event and there's no preparation because maybe they're just attending, or maybe they're speaking and they're just working on their one speech that they're doing for however long it is. But in the back end, like the mastermind, if you think about creating a space for people to be able to come and have a time of their lives, it goes from every decision is so important because it's not about how am I going to feel. It's more about how are they going to feel? What are they going to take away from this event? How are they going to be impacted? Because if they're not impacted, show's over. They're not coming back. So the performance for me as a person who's putting it together starts way before. Just like Danny, when he prepares for a show, he's looking at everything that is going to go right and everything that's going to go wrong. Because did we have hiccups? Yeah, we had hiccups. And guess what? You have to say, excuse me, but this happens. It's life. And even this morning, I had technical difficulties. Jose could not come on the show today because he's on dad duty. He has 6 kids like you do, Danny, and his wife is out of town. And so he's handling all the kids, and one of them is up all night. So he already texted me early this morning and said, I can't be, I'm overwhelmed a little bit, 6 kids. And usually his wife is phenomenal, just like your wife is phenomenal, Danny. But every little thing, and Lancelot is traveling at this moment. He's already on the road, right? Because he's taking his family on a Christmas road trip, if you will. So every little aspect of putting an event together, and not only were we putting events together, but we were going to be on stage as well, because believe it or not, as the person who puts on the event, sometimes you're seen more than the people on stage, but only because you're trying to make it so that everybody has a great time. And I got to tell you, Danny Zzzz, with the caliber of performer that he is,
I should have wore a bigger Santa hat.
I love it.
But I can tell that your bag of gifts is huge. But so
Sure it is.
he outperforms every performer I've ever seen, and the way he does it is because he's there before, he's there during. He's not one of, and everybody heard me say this, and I'll say it again. I don't want a speaker who thinks they're going to come on stage and leave. They're going to come 2 minutes before they get on stage and leave, because guess what? Please, you go to another stage. Don't come to mine. I really don't want you there. All right. I don't care who you are. Right.
Sifu, you and I met backstage, so to speak, at an event. Some of the greatest relationships I've had have been over breakfast or over coffee or the night owls. All of those things. The stage itself in the event is really, it's a stepping stone for you to ignite the opportunity that you have between somebody else. And it's I'm not taking from the event. The event is almost secondary. Like, I mean, we all get in that room, and what it is, it gives us an opportunity to filter out the people who do or do not resonate with us. And when you find somebody that has a connection or a spark or something that is worth that conversation, that secondary conversation happens in front of a coffee or a lunch. Me, Jose, Sifu, and my producer Irish had breakfast one day, and me and Sifu just hit it off in a different way. And it wasn't that we weren't friends before that, just the communication and the conversation was really right on where we needed it to be. And these events, they're so essential for people to get in the room, because you don't realize that the most important person in that room might not even be on stage. They might be sitting next to you. And I could give you a laundry list of names of people who I do business with or who have brought me in that I never seen on stage, but I seen them off stage. I seen them sitting in the back room, or I bought a book from them, or I asked a question, and it could be something silly. I noticed they dropped something, or they had a nice bag. It doesn't matter what it is. The conversation started, and from that, the evolution of that relationship built, and it opened up doors. And when a door opens, when you see a crack, if you peek in that room to see if it's good for you or not, keep walking. Kick that door open and say, "Hey, I'm here. I was just looking. I know. I just was coming by and thought that I would say, it's me, Danny Zzzz, I'm a stranger. Hi." You know, and if you can live your life with that attitude, you'll recognize that the hallway that we go down is filled with doors, and I just kick them all open. The worst thing that can happen is I can be a little too loud, a little too aggressive, a little too much for the room, and there's another one just down the hall. So I'll just continue to move forward. So I want to pull it back very briefly to Tampa, because it's one of the things that Sifu and I had been talking about previous, but it's a great example of an opportunity to be somewhere. It's never a good time. No, I hope I don't say this disparagingly. Nobody has enough money. Nobody has time off work. Nobody has the right opportunity, the right time to travel or to stay or to do all of that. Boo hoo. We're all in a rough situation right now. If you don't like the situation that you're in, you have to get in another situation.
That's right.
If you don't have the financial support today, well, then you need to get in a room that's going to build your financial support. If you're unhappy with how many stages you're on, well, then you better get in a room that will put you on stages. It's so easy for us to armchair our lives and look at our shortcomings and say, I want to be in a better spot, but you don't want to do the work. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to Tampa, and I haven't even worked it out with Steve for what exactly we're going to do. But he texted me, said, "You wanted to do this?" Yes. Like I didn't even know the date. I didn't even know the date. I was just like, yes, send me the information. I'm in. And that's the attitude that you have to have. And my window now is, how big do I want to make it? Do I want to bring producer or equipment? Do I want to bring my family? Do I want what's that trip in that event look like now that I've committed to it? And we'll have 20 conversations. Like, I'm just going to an event. I'm going to talk to Sifu 20 times, and I'm going to talk to some of you and say, what can we do if we're going to be in Tampa anyway? Would you like to have breakfast? And how can we get together on a project? Or what do you have coming on? Is there a stage that you could recommend for me? Like, I mean, this is what this networking does. You don't understand. Sifu's giving each one of us an opportunity to grow our business, not just Sifu, the other members as well. I don't want to discredit them. They're not on the call right now, but this New York City experience, the group that is putting this together, is opening up the door for so many of us to have opportunities worldwide. And you have to decide whether or not you're ready to step into a larger room, because I want you to know that when you step into that room, doors are going to open. And if you don't think that you're in a stage that you need more stages, more opportunity, more financial growth, more people, then don't go. If you're satisfied with where you are, then stay home, because I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to people who are as hungry as I am to be successful and move forward. If you're not that hungry, don't sit at my table.
Ooh, Danny. Oh my God. I'm about to burst over here. I'm sitting here like
what Les Brown says, you got to be hungry.
Oh
yeah.
my Lord.
Listen, I'm a Polish man, and I believe that the best thing you can do with anybody is break bread. I love that opportunity where I sit and break bread with somebody. And obviously I'm not breaking bread, but I mean, I'm eating, because if you can share a table, you're sharing your soul. You have the opportunity to pray and have a blessing before you eat it. And then you're sharing food with somebody, which means you're giving yourself a part of them, and they're giving a part of them to you, and you're consuming that opportunity. And if you can do that in a room full of people that are just as excited and as energy as you're in the most powerful point in the world you could be at that moment. And I am going to be on stage. I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to have my ridiculous 20 minutes or 2 hours, whatever they're going to give me, because I want all the hours. Okay. But I'll take whatever they give me. I will politely use that time, and then I will shake every hand. I'll take every selfie. I'll do everything that I can to boost my social credibility and to let people realize that I'm a candidate for more stages and more opportunity. Anybody thinks that I'm not working it just as hard as you, you're wrong, because you only climb a ladder when you're put in front of it. And if all of you guys are there, I mean, I'm spending some time with you. What can we do?
Yeah, I got to tell you, Danny Zzzz is not just coming to Tampa. He's our keynote speaker. And when you are in the room with Danny, the vibration is real. And Danny, earlier you said a word, and it's our theme for Tampa: ignite. Ignite, because we're going to ignite that Tampa. We're going to ignite everywhere we're going to be. We're looking at hotels. We're looking at room blocks. We're looking at every little detail so that everybody has an experience. Because I already have people who are boots on the ground in Tampa. I have people who are helping me in different areas because they're there. But also I have people who are not there helping me understand the space that we're going to be in. I've already secured this space. It's a huge room, right? But even if there's 10 of us, it's still a huge room. The room doesn't change because the amount of people change. The room changes because of who's going to be there. So if you've ever seen a performance that you're like, wow, and everybody just takes their phones out and starts doing this, you know you're in the right room. And I know that happened December 6th. And it also happened December 7th when we had Monique McDonald sing, and we were all blown away, right? When we had John Rickenbacker perform, and we were all blown, people are pulling out. But not only those two people who were performers, but we had people taking pictures and video of when other speakers were speaking, because the impact they were feeling, they needed to capture it. And so I see that there's a lot of people who are questioning it on the chat, and it's across the screen. It's February 27th through March 1st. You can't get any easier than this. There's two ways to find out. One is text me. By the way, that's my cell number, 516-242-8255. 8732. And for the people in the back row, 516-242-8732. Also, you can go to sifuraphael.com/NYC, and I'll put that on there as well. So if you want to join us in Tampa, like I said, you could join us or you must join us.
Mhm.
You have to make the decision. You have to make what we call a commitment.
Don't make excuses as to why you can't find success.
Well said, Danny. I agree.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy to not be successful.
Mhm.
Yeah, you just don't have to do the work.
And what I feel is so beautiful is just the message that we got at the conference, but also messages that we're getting here, pieces that are just eye-opening. And it's so beautiful. And the other thing that you mentioned, Danny, is that, be that person, be that authentic person. There's nothing worse to me than having somebody that I like to follow because of what their message is, but their energy does not resonate with their message. You could feel that everybody was so authentic. I can feel it over this, this online space. I can feel the authenticity. When you have that authenticity and you have a message, you impact people.
I love it.
Seafood. I had someone, and I'm not going to call them out, but I literally just had someone texting me saying, "What's the cost of Tampa?" I said, "You need to reach out to Seafood."
Right,
So I'm telling you, reach out to Seafood because people are curious. They're watching that I didn't even know are watching, but people are paying attention. So reach out to Seafood, you all, please.
Listen,
He
there's
does not bite.
there's no excuse. You carpool, you put air mattresses in the hotel. It's
Whatever it takes.
you listen to anybody who's ever found success, and they'll tell you stories of when they had to work through it. You pick anybody who is that successful level, and they're like, "Oh, I remember when I used to just sing at old seedy bars, 10 people there, or I used to sleep on the manufacturing floor under a table, or I used to." They all have stories like that. Success doesn't come easy, and it comes with hardships. So you want to be in the room, and it's that important, and you don't have what you need in order to get the room. You reach out to Seafood and you say, "Look, I need a room, but there's going to be 4 of us in the room." Okay. And we're just going to bunch up. It's going to be 2 a queen and a pull-out mattress in the middle. And we're all just going to get through those days. And I can promise you, for those of you who do that, some of the most important things that happen will be at 11 o'clock at night when you guys are sitting around and talking about that event. That is going to be the most powerful room. 5 people who are trying to save money on a hotel room are going to have the brilliant conversation that all of us wish we were a part of. So don't find a reason why you should go. Don't allow anything to stop you from doing it. I'm not even getting a commission. What am I doing here? I'm selling these tickets. I'm not even, but I mean that. I'm gonna bring my A game to this event. I'm gonna entertain in different ways. I'm gonna talk in different ways, and I'm going to find a way to do business with everybody. 2026 is my year. Mm-hmm. I have said that over and over. I'm going to say this as rudely as I can say it. 2025 and before has been shit. Okay. We have all struggled in ways we didn't see. We thought that after COVID, things were going to open up and things were going to change. And the struggle is real. Politically, we're struggling with things on both sides of our country. Financially, it's having an adverse effect on all of us at home. There's so many things that have slowed our success. 2026 is not going to be that. And you know why? Because I had to change my mindset. I couldn't just say more shows will come, more things will happen. No. I'm going to have to make it bigger and better than I've ever made it before. So I'm going to push the boundaries of who I am as a speaker, an author, as an entertainer. I'm going to force my way onto stages and rooms because I got something to say. Yeah. And I can promise you, you guys are all in that same boat. get into Tampa, get on these Zooms and these opportunities that are virtual rooms. We're part of CLA for a reason. Okay. We're connected people. Like, we're connected. That's the starting of what it's all about. Get on the virtual coffees. How can I serve you? What can we do together? What do you have moving forward? How can you consider me? I'm going to be the most vocal person on the CLA in 2026. I'm going to do everything that I can to make it the strongest year that I've had in many. I challenge you guys to try to keep up. Get on stage, get in Tampa. I'm probably going there with either my wife or my producer, but I'll put a blow-up mattress in there for anybody who needs it, okay? We'll find a way to get you on stage. We'll find a way to get you in the audience. We'll find a way to make it impact you. There's no excuse. The only way there's an excuse if you can't reach out to somebody else who's going and say, how can we do this together? Sorry, I'm ignited.
I have to say,
Danny.
Yeah,
the reason that I'm here,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't miss it, everyone.
the
I would
reason
not
that
miss
I'm
it.
here right now is being in that room in New York City, and now I'm in CLA because I needed to stay connected to everybody that I met and wanted even more.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's a resource of people who are there that have the answers that I don't. I know that I can reach out to anybody on CLA and say, I'm coming up to this, I'm going to this city, or I'm meeting this person, or I need to do this. How can we work together? Or I don't have a clue how to use this program, which is what Sifu probably said just before he started the event today. And there's somebody who has that answer. And that's what makes the CLA so strong, is that we're a resource of people who have answers that we don't. The most successful people, we've all have heard the story of Ford, where somebody said that he wasn't smart, and he said, I am smart. I have a button I can push, and somebody who has the answer will run in and tell it to me. And that's what this is about. The whole reason there's 500 plus members means there's 500 people who know something more than me. And I need that opportunity in order to have smart growth in 2026. So I'm showing up at 6:50 on a phone call, or I'm making a video at 11 o'clock at night, or I'm texting back and forth and saying, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? My phone should be blowed up by people who are already part of the CLA that are saying, what can they do with me? Like, I mean, that's what it's all about. And I'm on a mission this year. And I challenge you to be. We're at the end of Christmas. We all look at New Year like it's the end of a chapter, and it's not the end of the book. It's the start of something fantastic. Okay, this is the teaser for 2026. As the lights come down and the smell of turkey fades, we all rub our belly, wondering what tomorrow holds. You know what? Something fantastic, because we're starting a new year and a new beginning, and we're igniting our future for the rest of our lives. We're going to be pioneers that are going to try to build a network of people who need to hear our story. We're going to be influencers that need to hear what we have to say. If there's 1,000 people in the room, if one of them I can touch by what I have to share, what I have to say, means it was worth the trip. That's what we're doing. We're changing the world one person or 1,000 people at a time, and you're not doing anything from your couch.
I got to tell you, one of the things that I truly enjoy anytime I've been with Danny is that when he's on stage, and Alethea, you can attest to this, when he's on stage, he's not just performing, he's impacting. Because it makes us think a little bit differently. It's not the improbable, it's not the impossible, it's the possible. And that's why I love, and the fact that he's going to be our keynote speaker. And Danny, you know, anytime I have a stage, you're on. Anytime, anywhere. We're going to be in Ireland in April. Then we're going to be in Chicago in May. Then we're going to be in Atlanta in September. Then we're going to be back in New York. And then we're going to probably go to Dallas. And I'm already having conversations with people going to Italy. So the New York City experience is not slowing down. If anything, it's igniting.
Love it.
2026. It's building into what we all need to consider our lives. Every day, we should wake up and say, first of all, in gratitude, for me, I personally wake up every morning in gratitude, but also is, how can I impact the world today with the gifts that you've given me, right? So it's not about first of all, we do need to be selfish, right? Because we need to take care of us first. But then it's once we've taken care of us, let's take care of anybody in front of us. Like Danny Zzzz said, he'll blow up mattress if you need the space, right? I was at 2 different events recently, and somebody was leaving, and I said, "Why are you leaving?" "Oh, I don't have a room." I'm like, "Yes, you do. You're staying with me." I just met the person, right? And now they're a great friend of mine, right? And then just recently, somebody at the New York City Experience was going to go home, and I'm like, "You're not going home," and then coming all the way back here, that's like 3 hours away. I said, "No, we'll make it work. We'll find you a space. You're staying tonight." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Don't worry, I got you." And they stood.
It's not even about economical hardships. It's about
No.
giving. I was at an event where you had Jose stay with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. It's you need a spot, you got one. That's how it is.
Mhm.
You just got to open it up.
It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter where you're at, because I've been to other conventions in the past where we've had 3 women in the room. Someone needed a spot, and that actually happened in Orlando. So that's it.
I don't mean to throw you under the bus, Sifu, but I'm going to say if somebody is struggling and they need a place to be, they need to go, but they're not sure, you should just reach out to Sifu and say, "Listen, if anybody has space in their room, or if anybody's willing to take me,
Let's go."
He could be the person that people reach out to. Don't miss this event. This is going to be the event that 2026 measures the rest of the year about. This is it.
I've had people stay at my location in the past.
Yeah.
Right. So think about if you have a car, you can sleep in your car. How's that?
That's it. We've all done it. We've all done it.
We've all done it, right?
Oh yeah.
I'll even give you the keys to my car if you need to go take a nap,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
Lancelot. We were in Philly, and he's like, "I can't keep up with you night owl guys. I need to go to the car." So I said, "Here's the keys. Go take a nap." We woke him up like an hour and a half later. But the whole thing is, when you're in a room with people who support you, you're not too small to be in a big room.
Mhm.
Because we make you feel at home. New York City Mastermind Experience, it's the next stage. It's the next room you need to be in. So reach out to me. It's pretty simple. Did I tell you it's so simple that you can actually text me? And my phone number is 516-242-8732. And if you do need to collaborate and figure out, hey, you know what, I can only afford this part of the room fare, I'll find out who else can take you in, and maybe you guys both split, or you girls split the cost of the room.
Sure.
Because it's not that we're trying to make the hotels wealthier, is that we're trying to bring the event to a different location. Because New York City Mastermind Experience is not about doing the same thing over and over. It's about changing every time. And one of the things I'm going to finish off, and then I know we're wrapping it up, Danny talks about anxiety. Getting on a stage, and it's those butterflies that really come in. And one of the things that I teach all my clients is I say, "Hey, you have butterflies?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It's okay. Just have them fly in formation." So that we still have the butterflies. Is just that you need to control the environment, and you need to control you, because change the nervousness to excitement, because you should be excited about what you're about to share on stage, because those people who are there need to listen to what you have to say.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know we're a little over, so I'm going to have everybody just give me one word or 3 words that would impact someone today. We'll let Danny Zzzz go last. How's that?
Puts all the pressure on all of you guys. One word is bull. Okay, you need
1, 2, 3.
5
How's
words.
that?
You need 5, 6 words.
Okay,
Go ahead.
5, 6 words. Okay, who's up?
All right, I'll start. This is what's coming to me, and I'm talking to myself too. No excuses.
I'll say expand yourself.
I would say broaden your horizons.
I'll wrap it
Ignite the fire within.
Look at you. Look at you. Yeah. Connection. That's a single word. It's the most important one. Everybody should connect with me and with each other. If you can connect those dots, you lead the path to anywhere. So
Yeah. So Judith says, if that's my WhatsApp number. Yes, it is my WhatsApp. It's my cell number. I use them for both. So I will take a look at my WhatsApp. I'm getting text messages left and right now. So that's a good thing, right,
That's
people?
a good thing.
Get in the room or
Be in the room.
watch from the sidelines.
Be in the rooms where you are celebrated, not tolerated. And I love what Sifu said, ignite the fire within.
Not ignite, ignite the
Ignite.
fire.
That's meant to say ignite. Ignite the fire within.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you so much for being here, for pouring into everybody who was listening, everybody who watched. Thank you so much. If you're really ready to join us in the room, get in there. Also, share this with somebody. Somebody needs to hear today's message. Even if they can't make the room, even if they can't come to Tampa, they still need to hear the incredible messages that were delivered today. Because 2026 is no joke. And if you think it's a joke, guess what? You won't be laughing to the bank. You got to take it seriously, and maybe you can chuckle on your way to the bank if you make business work. Thank you, everybody.
Don't break.